Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel, Mr. Football Loons, and today we are doing Game Week 16 of the Barclays Premier League, and we're going to start on the 10th of December, Brentford home against Watford, and I'm going to say 3-1 to Watford. Now Watford have had some good games, obviously the 5-2 against Liverpool, 4-1 against Man United, nearly getting a point against Chelsea, which is very good. They seem quite attacking, you know, they do have some good attacking players. I'm actually surprised how they're playing. And I think this game, Brentford, they're not being in the best of form. Did get a win against Everton, you know, a couple of weeks back. They did lose against Spurs and only drew against Leeds, which, yeah, that's good. And also draw against Newcastle. Both times, they did not deserve it. They deserve to lose those games. But, I mean, they'll be happy with the points they've gotten. I think because of their start, they'll probably hover at the top. They're fine. They're just going through a bit of a bad spell. Now and again, they'll pop off with a win, but don't see any problems with them. Watford, they're just on really good form. They'll get the win. Moving on a Saturday, 11th of December, Manchester City home against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and I'm going to say 2-0 to City. Now, Wolves didn't really play the best against Liverpool, with only 3 shots, which is pretty poor, and only like 32% possession. I didn't actually watch it. All I know is the stats, and, well, that's it. But Man City, unlike Liverpool, are home, so they might be able to get double more than Liverpool, and Liverpool really should have scored more than 1. But yeah, Wolves do have a good team, but going against teams like Man City and Liverpool, they're very, very good. And I don't think Wolves are quite like they used to be, but I think they've improved this season to last season. I think next season they'll be even better, and they'll be probably back in top 10, but I still don't think they will be, and I think they're going to lose. Moving on, Chelsea home against Leeds United, I'm going to say 1-1. Now the reason for this is because Chelsea only just about winning against Watford, then lose to West Ham. I mean, West Ham are quite high up, but I still think they've got a way better squad than West Ham. You know, they should at least be getting a draw. West Ham can obviously do good against good teams, but they're not that good. I think they are good, but not quite that top 6 quality yet. But Chelsea, you know, they're a very good team. Leeds, they love to shoot. They always shoot outside the box, anywhere. They go so attacking, Leeds, and I think that, you know, with all the attempts they'll definitely get a goal. Chelsea are being a bit rusty recently. I think it'll be 1-1. Liverpool versus Aston Villa. I'm going to say 2-1 Liverpool. Now, Aston Villa obviously do have Steven Gerrard coming in, which kind of restructure the team, because they already had the team there. They just needed a new manager, which Steven Gerrard perfectly fitted in. Done very well for Aston Villa. A good front three. But Liverpool, the way they play against all the teams this season, they've been such overpowered. They're really, really good. And Aston Villa, they will fight, and I think they'll have a few chances in this game, you know. I don't think it'll be all Liverpool. I think Aston Villa will have a bit of push in it, and they'll be able to get a goal. You know, they might be able to draw it, but I don't think they'll win it. But moving on to the next game, Arsenal home against Southampton. I'm going to say 0-0. I haven't actually said 0-0 draw for quite a while, but today's the day I'm going to say 0-0. Arsenal did lose against Everton 2-1, and Everton haven't been on good form. They lost 4-1 to Liverpool, not even trying. You know, they've had crazy results like a 5-2 loss to Watford, but Arsenal, they're a good team. I think they'll definitely get a clean sheet because they've got Ramsdale. Ramsdale's a really good goalie, and they have a decent defence as well. It's not all terrible, and they usually do keep low scoring games, and Southampton definitely do. And Southampton usually get a lot of draws, and I think after loss against Everton, I think they'll just come back with a draw. You know, I think they're going to sit fine this season in 7th. They'll get back at probably with a win in the next game, or something like that. But yeah, 0-0. Moving on, Norwich City home against Manchester United. I'm going to say 2-0 Man United. Now, Norwich seemed to be always controlling possession like they did against Spurs and Newcastle. They didn't really create much. They create around 10 shots, which only 1 or 2 of them were actually good or on target. But they got thrashed by Spurs. All they did was probably hold the possession, did nothing else with it. Man United did well against Crystal Palace, you know. Past few games, I think they're back, you know, winning against Arsenal, and Arsenal in good form. And then they went on and obviously won against Crystal Palace. Late winner, though. But I think they'll be able to comfortably win 2-0. I think it'll probably be quite even possession. And Man United, I think, they've slowly come back, and I think they're going to be up there now. I think this is their positive form. They're going to slowly move up the table. Moving on to a whole new day, 12th of December, on a Sunday. Burnley are home against West Ham United. I'm going to say 2-1 West Ham. Now, Burnley obviously lost to Newcastle, and that wasn't the greatest for them. After they're in a relegation battle, losing to them, they didn't really play the best against Newcastle. Weren't really creating much. Newcastle were all over them. West Ham, on the other hand, got a good win against Chelsea. It was a very good win. They seem to be really impressing. That's why I've gone for a win here. Obviously, Burnley have had a few good draws against Chelsea and some other teams, I can't remember. But I think Burnley, they've got quite an old side, but they do have a good defence. And I think it would probably be 1-1 for a long time. But I think West Ham will be all over them, and they'll eventually get a last 20-minute goal. It'll be all West Ham throughout. But, you know, Burnley's defence and goalie are pretty decent, so that'll keep them going. But West Ham, they've been too good recently. 2-1 to West Ham. Moving on, Leicester home against Newcastle United. I'm going to say 2-1 to Leicester City. Now, Leicester obviously haven't been on the greatest of form. Obviously losing against Aston Villa. You know, I thought that was coming because Aston Villa got a new manager and all. But, you know, looking at it, they need to play better, because if they want to finish top 6 or at least top 4, they have to be at least getting a point against a side like Aston Villa, but they're not. And I believe the last time they actually played, Newcastle won 4-2. I believe Newcastle like 4-0 up, and then Leicester got 2 back. But I think Newcastle are going to have a really good go at it, because, you know, against Brentford, against Norwich, against Burnley, they all showed, all the Newcastle lads, and Eddie Howe, you know, he's definitely restructured the formation, the lineups. He's done really well for Newcastle. And Newcastle looking much more better now, much more positive. And I think they'll definitely get a goal. They seem to be fine with scoring, but I still think the defence is a bit off. But they have actually been good defensively in the past couple of games, which is good. Improving. But I still think Newcastle needs some signings in January, especially with all that money. They're going to need maybe sign 1 or 2 players to keep them up this season. But Leicester, I think they're going to slowly get back on form. Slowly move up back to the table. I still think they're going to finish in top 6. And I think this is going to be the day they're going to start putting on those games and starting to play better. But let's move on. Brighton home against Tottenham Hotspur. I'm going to say 2-1 to Spurs. Now, in my opinion, this could be a draw, because Brighton usually get late minute goals like they did in their last game, drawing 1-1 against Southampton. But it was quite a close game. Malpai getting the goal. And Spurs obviously winning the past few games. You know, one against Brentford, one against Norwich. Obviously, those are lower clubs. Brighton's a middle-ish high club. They seem to be providing points. I think this could easily be 1-1. I think it's going to be a very close game. But I think Spurs are back, so they'll be able to just about get a win. Moving on, Crystal Palace home against Everton. I'm going to say 2-1 to Everton. Now, Crystal Palace haven't been the best in the past few games, but they have had it go at it, you know. Nearly getting a point against Man United, but right at the last second, Fred scored an absolute banger top left against them. But I think they'll definitely stay up. They've got a good enough squad for it. They've been getting the results, but recently they're slowly dipping. I think this is going to be their dipping I think they're just now and again going to get that point, occasional win. And Everton, I think they're definitely back. I think they're going to finish top 10. You know, after the 2-1 win against Arsenal, played much better, much more positive. It looks like Everton are probably going to finish in top 10. I think they're back. I think they're going to start providing those points. That will be the end of the video. Hopefully you can like and subscribe, and always remember to turn on notifications. Never miss one of my fantastic YouTube videos. I will see you next time. Goodbye.